Welcome back to Digital Trends Live. I'm Greg Nibbler. Indeed, it is time for Who's Got Game, partnering with Fullscreen to talk to amazing creators about what they're up to and what they can do. And we've got two pretty incredible ones joining us right now. We have not only Danny Padilla, we also have Mason Sperling, who are both here with us. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. I got to say, I was watching your videos this morning. They are hilarious, and I have so many questions. But to introduce you both to the show, let's kind of go to each one of you. Mason, maybe we'll start off with you here, just talking about how life has changed over the last couple of months. I understand that you've been cooking more, or can you tell us a little bit about what you've been up to when it comes to that?
Yeah, the retreat indoors has definitely made me cook a lot more. My Mother's Day present to my mom was that we have FaceTime cooking sessions, and last night we made steak and red wine risotto. Thanks so much for asking.
Nice. That's impressive in its own right. So doing cooking lessons online, showing your multi-talents. Danny, let's talk to you just about, over this last couple of months or so, what's changed for you? What's been the biggest thing that you've seen that's different in your life over the last couple of months?
Oh, man. Well, so Mason and I used to live together. We had an apartment together, and we had to move during quarantine in about mid-March, and I actually moved into my own apartment. And so I've been living alone and seeing human beings like once a week. So that's been kind of the biggest change for me. And I don't have a fully functional apartment yet, as you can probably see. Not much on the walls. I got a clock. Yeah, but really it's just my desk set up and my bedroom is all that I really have going on for me. So yeah, and I have not been cooking as much as Mason, unfortunately. That's just not.
Yeah, I'm on your side of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been using Uber Eats a lot. I'm not gonna lie. But that's moving during the middle of a pandemic has got to be its own challenge. That's a whole story in its own right. But talking about collaborating and just some of the amazing things that you two do together, like, how have you overcome that? What kind of tech have you been using to overcome that and to be able to work together since you don't live together anymore?
Yeah. So luckily, Mason is part of my quarantine, as they say, right? Mason lives in a house with a few other people, and I will regularly commute to his place, or he'll come to my place. And, yeah, we'll usually film kind of in the normal way that we have been, which has been pretty nice. Luckily, because we are best friends as well as coworkers, we will, like the video you can see on the screen right now, we will film that just in my apartment, and he will come to me, and I'll go to him, and yeah. So luckily for us, we actually haven't had to make a lot of changes with regards to that. I think it's been more on the production side of things, just kind of fitting everything in. But yeah, see Dora in the bottom left corner. Yeah,
and because Danny lives alone and we were together at the start of the pandemic, we're able to sort of create like a little closed social circle with him in it. So
yeah,
nice. That helps then. Well, talking about some of your videos and in particular some of the accents, which I gotta admit, it's pretty incredible how both of you are able to adapt to those on the spot. Mason, for you, when people ask you, because I'm sure you get it all the time, people asking both of you, like, how do I do this accent, or what should I learn first in order to be able to do accents better? What kind of recommendations do you have for people who are looking to do accents and impersonations like that?
Yeah, I would say start with thinking about your own accent, and get used to listening to yourself talk. And then get used to listening to your friends talk and look for like the tiny little differences. For example, like I say the word forward, and Danny says it like forward, right, Danny? Yeah, and like that's like a small difference to pick up on. But if you get good at listening for those differences, it becomes really easy to learn entire accents when a coach can explain which differences you're now supposed to be listening for.
Yeah, and
yeah,
I know. Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I also one of the things that I've noticed that's insanely helpful is that you just kind of have to be willing to sound awful at it first.
Oh, absolutely.
Very, very often, especially I think British accent's always kind of the one that people talk about. Like if someone's like, "Hey, do a British accent," most people are way too embarrassed to just do it out of nowhere because they're way too afraid to sound bad at first. But you kind of have to sound horrible at first in order to sound good. And so it's just having the willingness to do that.
Day one is going to sound like garbage, and like you have to embrace that day one is fun because of that.
Have you ever tried to pass off the accent as real in public?
Ooh, yeah, we went to, when we were moving into our last apartment, we went to IKEA, and Mason tried to convince everyone around us that he was Australian. So I don't know if it worked. We didn't ask people afterwards, like, hey, what were your thoughts on this guy's accent?
There's no survey for that.
Yeah. But yes, Mason has definitely tried it a few times. I think I've probably done it less, but I'm trying to think if there's a specific time in which I've tried to as well.
Danny goes around trying to convince people he's Gilbert Gottfried.
That is not one of the ones I can do. So it's extra bad. I'm also significantly younger.
Wait,
than
now
him.
I kind of want to hear you try the Gilbert Gottfried because I've seen Mason do it.
Oh, I just threw him under the bus there. Sorry, Danny.
Yeah.
Hello, my name's Gilbert Gottfried.
It's not even one that he ever has to try because.
No. Yeah. Mason has spared me in the videos, luckily.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would
I
you
don't know, what
like
else
a
would-
What's the
brand
hardest-
new mattress?
Yes.
What's the hardest one that you've ever tried to do, Mason?
Ooh.
Oh, I find the South African accent very difficult because my ears keep picking it up as an Australian accent, so it's hard because I meld the two. And then for impersonations, I think like
Morgan Freeman.
Oh yeah, that one's hard because our voices aren't similar. And then like actors, like real people tend to be harder because their speech patterns are more complex than like cartoon characters.
Have you ever heard feedback from any celebrity that you've impersonated before commenting on your particular impersonation?
I posted a TikTok where I impersonated Gilbert Gottfried, and he commented, "Wow."
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty positive. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I mean that's good. I mean,
Or
if
maybe
anything
he's
that he could have said,
impersonating Owen
"Wow,"
Wilson.
Yeah.
that could be it. I could see how this all works out. Danny, I know I want to talk to you about something else too. You've got a single that is coming out. Can you tell us about that and about what what it entails?
Yeah, so I released Make Believe. It's called Make Believe. It's kind of my oh gosh, how do you even describe it? It's how I feel about what I want to like accomplish in this world. It's very, I don't know, it's very deep, but it's a really pretty song in my opinion. Of course, I'm biased, but yeah, it's called Make Believe. It actually is out. I did release a music video. It was a quarantined version of a music video, but I actually really enjoyed what I did with it. I had a lot of home video footage and stuff that kind of helped bring light to what I was talking about in the song and stuff. And I had a projector going over my face of like all the video footage while I was singing this song. But yeah, it's called Make Believe, and it's one of my favorite songs I've ever done. And what's cool is that it seems like it's a lot of other people's favorites, which is a nice feeling knowing that you haven't plateaued yet or you haven't peaked. You know? Yeah, it's really.
There's
It's
still
really
more
nice
in the
to know
tank.
it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I know some of Mason's favorites, for example, were ones that I released in like 2017, 2018. But it seems like he probably likes.
Yeah, I do think he plateaued, but that's just me.
Oh, okay. Great.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, Make Believe is out, and yeah, I love it.
One other thing I was going to ask you is just your participation in something new from The Bachelor. And I know there's a limited amount that we can say about it, but can you tell us just a little bit of details about what it is?
Yes. So I was on the new Bachelor series. They kind of added a new. This is the first season that they've done of it. It's called The Bachelor Presents Listen to Your Heart. It's a, it's I guess almost a singing competition meets one of the Bachelor shows, and you know, where an equal amount, you know, guys, girls get together and try and find love and bond over music in particular, which is pretty cool. And I was on that. It just actually, the finale came out last Monday. So yesterday was the first day that we hadn't had an episode in a while, and it was 6 weeks of episodes. And yeah, it was really exciting, really cool. One of the funnest parts was just the amount of random people from my past reaching out to me, seeing that I was in the commercials for it before it was airing, and when I was able to publicly profess that I was in the show. And yeah, that was really, really cool. Just very validating. I think it was just really nice that a lot of people, I mean, unfortunately for me, I did not find love, but gave me a new perspective on all of it. And yeah, Mason was rooting for me. So yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be interesting seeing the behind the scenes on that. Well, Mason, talking to you, you know, and obviously there's a lot on the horizon, but what's up next for you? What's something that people can look forward to?
Oh, I mean, that's kind of the hard thing, right? Is I feel like now that we're all stuck inside, it's like choose your own adventure. But I'd say what's next for me is I've gotten back into like writing screenplays for like comedy shows and stuff. So my friend and I are doing that. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I'm also trying to start some classes in the mid to late summertime, some accent and dialect classes, and some like content creation classes for all the people who are trying to make more YouTube content and stuff like that. So teaching.
Nice. Actually, I do have one more question, and this could go to either one of you during this. You know, since you are both creators and people look to you for inspiration, and what you're doing is so great. What's the one piece of tech you can't live without during this?
I mean, Zoom, but yeah,
The internet.
The internet, yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, the internet.
That's hard. I would say probably. Oh God, that's so hard because it just depends on what you're trying to make.
Cameras. I mean,
yeah.
We have multiple cameras that we use. One of them's kind of more of a vlogging camera. And one of them's more of a the ones we use for the impersonation videos and stuff like that. But it's insane how much. I mean, because that is the only way that you can, film what you're doing and allow the rest of the world to see it. And I don't know. I mean, I encourage people to document themselves as much as possible right now, if they want to do that, of course.
Yeah, because this will be so weird looking back.
Yeah, it's like one of those things.
Yeah, it's kind of like
they'll talk about it in the history books. Yeah,
this will be like me stuck inside for a year.
Yeah.
Right. Here's what happened. Here's how crazy everybody went.
Yeah.
I want to say, I want to say thank you to both of you so much for joining us too, and being a part of the show today, and just talking about what you've gone through. It's really entertaining. Obviously, you've got millions of subscribers, but I suggest anybody out there who hasn't seen them, go there and watch them. It's always great to see what you two come up with. And thanks for being here on Digital Trends Live.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for having us. This is awesome.